Welcome. My name is Don Saunders, and today we're going to share with you one of the answers to the 4 questions of life. And today we're going to talk about the purpose for humanity. Why do we even exist here on this planet called Earth? So let's start right now. And I'm going to give you the answer right up front, and then we're going to work backwards through how we came with this. And the reality is the answer is very simple. We are here as a humanity to learn what to do and to learn what not to do on our journey back to oneness. And what we're going to try to talk to you about today is, why are you here all together? You've arrived here on Earth as essence particles. And if you need to call it a soul, that's fine. But we're here together in a group, and we want to talk about why that is. What is the reason that we're here together? 8 billion people have gathered on this planet, which quite honestly I'd like to have you call it a classroom, because that's what it is. Because in this classroom we're going to learn what to do and what not to do on the journey back to oneness. And I'm going to repeat to you that statement several times during this video, because there's going to be, throughout your life, there's going to be situations where you're going to want to know why you're here. And if you just think for each one of those applications, the real purpose of humanity, of knowing and learning what to do and what not to do, it all is going to make sense to you. So here we go. First of all, we've all arrived here on Earth as essence particles. We came individually. There are 8 billion individual realities here on the planet. Yet, I'm going to share with you that life works exactly the same for all of us, but we need each other because we are co-creators of the universe that surrounds us. And by co-creators, I mean that what you're doing is you're communicating with each other through this frequency that I'll talk about numerous times. And sharing of ideas between each other is what helps us evolve through life. And so you've got your essence particles. You now know you're communicating with each other through this frequency. And by the way, just so there's no confusion, when you materialized, you created cells in your body, and they are communicating with each other, 50 trillion of them, roughly, give or take a few trillion, but they are communicating with each other in the human body, just like you are communicating with each essence particle here on the planet. Now, it gets a little complex, but stick with me. We'll make it simple. Let's call it simple complexity. That's a fun statement. So the reality is that you're communicating with each other, sharing ideas, but you also have the ability to communicate with the universal consciousness that surrounds us all. So all of these frequencies that we'll share with you and talk to you about and try to get you to grasp that we are surrounded by frequencies, those frequencies are filled with information. And you get the opportunity here in life to manifest those frequencies, to pray for those frequencies, whatever your belief system might be. And those frequencies are going to deliver answers to you. But you also have each other. And so this coexistence between essence particles here on this planet make up humanity. And it's important to understand this because it's the environment that you're in that's going to help you create the reality that you want to create. If you're in a sad environment, you're probably going to be sad. If you're in a happy environment, vice versa, you're going to be happy. If you're in an environment that creates chaos and fights against each other and perpetuates the separation that we have in this world, then that is going to be your reality. Or you can just not care about anything and you'll be in neutral your whole life, but then you're not learning what to do and what not to do on your journey. And that's critically important, because this is not the beginning, nor is it the end of your journey. It's an eternal journey that we're talking about. And what's happening right here, right now, on this planet is a shift. And it's a shift in universal consciousness. And that universal consciousness is shifting because our thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and emotions are out of alignment. And because they're out of alignment, we're creating the chaos in this world. And the reason that relates back to what is the purpose for humanity is because it goes right back to that fundamental question that I'll have to repeat over and over again. We are here to learn what to do and what not to do. Watch the politics. Watch the religion. Watch the weather patterns. Watch the poverty. So there is a process called the double slit experiment. And that's basically, listen carefully now, especially the scientists are going to pick up on this. It's where these particles and waves are passed through parallel slits. And as they pass through, they're particles and waves, but when they get to the other side, when they are observed, they change their pattern to be scattered. Now, why is that so important? It's because that when your particles and waves entered as the essence particle, then what happened along the way was we started observing. And that's why humanity exists, so that we can observe what's going on in the world and create a reality that matches and aligns with the journey back to oneness. Enough for now. Science, you've got that. The double slit experiment was what we just explained, because observation changed the waves and the particles. And humanity exists so that we can observe what's going on in the world today. And as we observe, you're going to love this, as we observe, we start to calculate our realities. And so we watch what's going on, we create an improved reality, if you will, and we can change the world through our thoughts and make the dominant thought the journey back to oneness. Got it? So stick with me now, because as we change our thoughts, we are going to change the results of what's happening with the chaos in the world. Right now, if you watch all the weather patterns changing, it's because our thought frequencies are out of alignment. If you're watching the political climate, we are separated into political parties all over the world, regardless of what country you're living in. And the reality is that separation is causing, through frequencies not being aligned, causing chaos, causing wars, causing famine, causing all of the destruction in the world. And because everything is out of alignment, we're going through chaos. The purpose for humanity is to observe all of that, work with each other, and join together through frequency alignment. And once we get our thoughts in the right place, we can change the world. And a lot of people say to me, before I explain all this to them, they'll say, we can't change the world. Who are we? I'm explaining to you that if you know how life works, which life is a puzzle, but there's a missing piece. And that missing piece of the puzzle is simply one word: awareness. Awareness of how life works. And if you have that awareness, and you are provided the knowledge, which is providing you the power of knowing how life works, then you start to find the solutions to the chaos and the problems that we live in. So why does humanity exist? It exists to start to bring people back together in alignment with each other. The religions need to align with each other. You're all thinking the same thing. You all worship a superior being, but then you argue about it. It doesn't make any sense. There's nobody that's superior over anybody else, regardless of what you may think. However, there are 5 or 6 old white guys that control the whole thought process. And you know what I'm talking about. And again, this is not a political message. I'm not going in any direction other than just that. How do they gain that kind of power? It's because you gave it to them. You elect them. Or you think that you need a leader. And instead, you just need to understand that you have that control. And here's a powerful little phrase I'm going to ask you to absorb and follow. You and only you get to create your individual reality. 8 billion of you are creating your individual reality. Now you need to take it the next step further because you're learning how life works. Then you learn the process of how humanity works. You're learning it all right now. And the purpose for humanity is start to bring people back together. But you can't do that until you see the problems clearly. So you're observing the problems, and then you're going to start, because I've seen the book, because then you're going to start bringing things together. You're going to raise up your white flag and you're going to say, listen, quit arguing. You're going to eliminate those 5 or 6 leaders that have led you down the wrong path. And once you do all of that, you're going to take control again. And then we are going to be on a journey back to oneness, together. The continents are going to come together. The people are going to come together. The religions are going to come together. The politics are going to come together. And I know what you're saying. That's impossible, Don. But it's not. If you grasp this and then share it with everybody, and they grasp it, all of a sudden those 8 billion people take control of the universal consciousness by supplying it with positive frequencies. I'm Don Saunders. That's all you need to have today.